Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to unpackage a group of lighters. This was actually 4 different lots that we purchased from the same seller in a high bid auction out of Western New York. See that it is all sealed up in a flat rate padded envelope. So we will get this cut open and get these pulled out of here. And once again, as I mentioned, there were 4 different auction lots here that the seller combined to meld together. No problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the way that this seller packaged these listings to begin with. There you've got all 4 of those lighters just bumping up against each other. Here you've got a couple of Ronson Master cases. It does look like they are at least separated with plastic in between them. And then the other 2 were single lighters. So no big deal the way that they are packaged. The main problem I have here is putting these 4 into this Ziploc bag together and then just letting them bump up against each other. That to me is not protecting the items that were won in the auction. Very poor packaging from this seller. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. And I think we may need our scissors to get some of these open. So whether or not you recognize this first lighter or not, you probably should. We've had one of these here just in the last couple of months, and it was actually the first of that last group of aluminum block petrol lighters that we sold. This is a Firefly Flick made by General Research out of Buffalo, New York. So really cool lighter. Really glad to get my hands on this one. Looks like this is in just about as good a shape as the last one we had. So we'll just have to see exactly how that turns out as far as a working lighter. It's also interesting that this box, which is included with this lighter, was shown in the listing, but it did not show that it was broken, nor did it state that in the listing. So there's the flap of the Park number 13 box. I say Park number 13. It says number 13 made in USA, and that reminds me of a Park box. But this is not a Park lighter. Now, whether or not it was made by Park is another story, and I don't believe that this one was. Looks more like it was made by the Neff company. So a really nifty, lightweight. I believe this could be Pop Metal or Zamac. Very, very light. But the case itself is pretty cool and has a nice painted finish to the bottom of the case. High polished chrome finish to the top of the lid. And that case nor lid, it doesn't appear to be brass, some other kind of metal, it seems to me. We'll get a little bit better look at that at a later date and have our own, or have its very own video for this lighter. So at least in this bag, these two Ronson Master cases were separated by the thin layer of Ziploc plastic there. This master case is marked pearl, or I should say monogrammed pearl. And one of these is actually taller than the other as well. So we will just have to see. That one, the shorter one, appears as though it might be in a little bit better condition. Although they both have scratches, scuffs. No monogram on that one. They definitely both have damage to the finish. And those will be a couple of projects that we will have a good time with. Now getting around to these last four, which, as I already mentioned, not happy that the seller just put them in a bag together to rub up against each other. It's not the way that I ship lighters. It's not the way that I would suggest or advise that anybody ship lighters. But nonetheless, that's the way that these were sent to us. So it looks like we've just got the bottom of a box that says made in Switzerland. And no fill screw in that particular lighter. Made in Switzerland. You see marked right there. This is a roller lighter. We'll have to see what we can do. That lighter is obviously incomplete, which I was aware of when I purchased it. Now, this particular lighter is not a lighter at all. Is that a perfume mister or cologne mister? Atomizer, there you go. That's exactly what that is. Looks to be an aluminum block atomizer for perfume or cologne. So interesting. And that should be fun to clean up and just see whether or not it works. Very nifty, very nice design. And I look forward to getting to the bottom of this one. Does show some scuffs, corrosion. Here we have a petrol roller lighter that we've had before. This one is called the Viscount. Has a flint tension thumb roller mechanism that is similar to the Cygnus but not identical. That's a cool lighter that we will look forward to working on as well. And this particular lighter appears as though it is unmarked. Sort of reminds me of the Lord Oxford. And I know that Lord Oxford made a manual version that was not semi-automatic like the other one that we have, but I don't believe this is it. So we'll see if we can get this identified, get all these lighters analyzed, see what we're going to do with them, and several projects here in this lot. And last of which, here is this aluminum block petrol lighter with a design the likes of which I have not seen exactly before. So, cool little lighters, projects for another time. Until next time.